Hey guys, welcome back. So as promised, I'm going to do a video on labor and delivery and my experience as a labor and delivery nurse. I just want to start by saying I am not speaking on behalf of all labor and delivery nurses, all labor and delivery units, or a specific hospital. I'm just talking about my experience and things that I do as a labor and delivery nurse and how I feel about labor and delivery. So first things first, I want to talk about people's perceptions about labor and delivery. I think that people have such a, they just think that labor and delivery nurses, it's just so easy. Oh, you deliver babies for a living. That must be the best job ever. It's so easy. You don't have to do much. No, that is not true. Labor and delivery nurses do a lot. We have tragedies that happen. We have emergencies. We have two patients, a mom and also a baby. We have critical medicines that we give just like any other unit. We go through a lot of the same things that any other unit does. We are a critical care unit. So please, please, please do not discredit labor and delivery nurses. And if you feel that you want to learn more about labor and delivery, please ask questions, shadow a labor and delivery nurse, and do your research, please. Because it is not a cakewalk and there's a lot that goes on labor and delivery, and we work hard just like any other nurse does. With that being said, I'm just going to talk about a few things that I do on my labor and delivery unit and how I feel about labor and delivery. So I chose to be a labor and delivery nurse after attending the birth of one of my nephews at a particular hospital, which I now work at. I actually decided I wanted to work there after my sister gave birth, and a year later I landed a job there working in their emergency room and then transferred to labor and delivery. So I knew that labor and delivery nursing was for me when I went through the process with my sister and saw how the nurses and the physicians treated her during this time, how they dealt with her pain and all of the emotions that she was going through. And I decided that this is what I want to do. So I got into nursing school shortly after transferring to labor and delivery, and I worked towards becoming a labor and delivery nurse. I did work full-time while I was in nursing school, which I do not recommend unless you just have a crazy drive and you just are just gung-ho about, still making a good amount of money and being in school. It was rough. It could be different for every other person, but for me, it was very rough. But anywho, I chose L&D because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives and be there for people through such a trying time and one of the greatest moments of their lives. Labor and delivery is not all happy times. As I mentioned before, we have things happen. We have emergencies. We have good and bad things that happen on the units, and we just roll with the punches. You do have your mom, you have your baby. We attend vaginal deliveries, C-sections. We do assessments on mom and baby. We do give medicines, critical medicines, some such as oxytocin or Pitocin, magnesium or magnesium sulfate. Those are just a few of the meds that we give for various reasons. We don't just treat pregnant moms, but we treat moms postpartum, antepartum, which is before birth. Postpartum is after birth. We treat moms intrapartum, which is during their labor. And yeah, so we take care of a variety of people. We have a triage unit, a triage area where we almost act like an ER. And we see patients and they go home. We make sure they're okay. They get treated for different things, and then they come back when it's time to deliver. We, as labor and delivery nurses, are advocates for our patients. We have to constantly reassure our patients. I feel like a lot of people come into labor and delivery and they don't know what to expect. Some of them have never had kids before, and us as labor and delivery nurses, we have to constantly reassure them, educate them, advocate for them, because a lot of people don't know a lot about the medical field. They don't know what these medicines are that we're giving them. We have to constantly explain to them what we're doing, why we're doing it, and just educate them about pregnancy and their care, their health, what we're doing for them and why we're doing it. It's so important. As nurses, we are our patient's biggest resource, and we have to be that for our patients, especially during this time. I do believe that labor and delivery is a very fast-paced unit. We do have nights where, you know, I work night shift, but we have nights or / days that it can be very calm day, and then we have days where it's just crazy. Just you're constantly running up and down the halls, in and out of your patients' rooms. It can get busy. It's not just a cakewalk, and it's not just sitting on your butt all day waiting for a baby to be born, because that is not what labor and delivery is. I actually love women's health. I decided that even after I graduate with my bachelor's, I'm currently an associate's nurse, that I want to pursue a graduate degree in women's health, something that has to do with women's health. I'm actually interested in nurse practitioner, but that's another story. We'll talk about that later. I'm working towards grad school at the moment, so I will keep you guys updated on that. So typically after a delivery, our moms stay with us for about 2 to 3 hours, unless there's a reason why they have to stay, and then we transfer them up to the mother baby unit. We do keep our moms for a little bit and the babies after. A lot of times we'll have a baby nurse that will come in and do the baby's assessment, baby's vitals, but if not, then we do it for our patients with the help of like the charge nurse. Most times the charge nurses come in for our deliveries and help out with different things like drawing up blood gases from the cord blood and just helping us with whatever we need help with. I have been a labor and delivery nurse for a year, and I love it so far. I think it's the best decision I could have made, was becoming a labor and delivery nurse. I can't see myself doing any other kind of nursing, and I'm just glad that I chose this route. And if you're ever not sure about something, please do a share day. Please, if you're a nursing student, become a tech on a labor and delivery floor. Learn about the floor. For me, I was previously a tech on that floor. I was a scrub tech, so I helped pass instruments during C-sections and started IVs, drew blood, dipped urine, all those different things while I was in nursing school. So I learned the flow of the unit. I learned how things worked, and watched the nurses as they did certain things, so that I knew, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing when I graduate, and these are the things that I need to do to learn or to prepare myself to be this kind of nurse. And I do think that working as a tech on a unit is a very good idea. It is an easier transition than being a new grad and just going into a unit where you know nothing about. I do recommend that if you are a nursing student planning on doing labor and delivery. It's a very good idea to work there before becoming a nurse there. And a lot of places actually will not hire new grad nurses into labor and delivery. They want you to have some type of experience, so being a tech on that floor will give you that advantage to become a labor and delivery nurse. I also just want to say that labor and delivery is for a special kind of person. You have to really love what you do and not just go to work and just consider it just a job. You have to love your career and really give your all to your patients, because they need you. This is such a trying time. Mothers are going through so many emotions during their labor process, during their pregnancy, dealing with different things. You have to be there for them and be their support and their backbone. They need you. You cannot just go there, get a paycheck, go home. It's not that type of job. Nursing, period, is not like that. You must have some type of compassion. You have to love what you do, or your patients and those around you will notice. I work 12-hour shifts. I work night shift. I will do a video just about how I like night shift versus day shift a little later on. I actually chose night shift years ago as a tech working in the ER, and I've loved nights ever since. It's very different. Things are completely different at night than during the day. You do have less resources, but I feel like it all works out with your coworkers and just having teamwork, and I love nights. I don't think I would do days just yet. Eventually, maybe one day when I have kids. But right now, I love nights, and I love the flow of the unit at night. And the pay is more at night, so that's a plus. But yeah, so I just, graduated nursing school a year ago. As I mentioned, I've been a nurse for a year. When I first started, I was very overwhelmed. I was wondering, what did I get myself into? It's so much more responsibility being a nurse as opposed to a tech. You don't realize until you are that nurse in that role, and everything is on you. You now call the shots as far as certain things. You are now that nurse, and you have to make judgments and use your critical thinking to best care for your patient. You don't want to harm your patient. You want to make sure that you are asking questions to the senior nurses, to the physicians. It is so hard as a new graduate nurse, speaking to physicians. Like in the beginning for me, it was very difficult. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to sound stupid, but you realize that you have to. In order to advocate for your patient and to learn certain things, you have to ask questions. If you don't know why something is happening or why you're giving a medicine or what a medicine is for, please ask. It is so important. Ask a senior nurse. The nurses at my job have been great about helping. Every time I have a question, they are willing to answer. They're not annoyed. You have to ask. Don't feel like you're incompetent and not ask questions. It can be crazy sometimes, and sometimes you just don't know what to do or how to do it, and you just need guidance. Ask how, ask why, ask them to demonstrate, and then maybe you do it the next time. Just always ask for help. I'm still not confident as a labor and delivery nurse, even after a year. I still have times where I'm not 100% sure, and that is okay. I'm still learning, and anything that I have questions about, I ask. I do not just do things and hope that I'm doing it right. Absolutely not. I'm not going to lose my job, and I do not want to harm my patient. So always ask questions. As I mentioned before, do share days. So many places, there is such a nursing shortage. There are so many places that need nurses. Please do share days. Learn about these different units. Go on interviews, talk to different labor and delivery nurses or nurses for whatever specialty you want to do, period, and go from there. I mean, if you know you want to do something, just do it. I knew I wanted to do labor and delivery, and I didn't give up. I knew that I didn't really have a certain list of questions or anything that I wanted, that you guys wanted answered. I just did a poll on my Instagram, and most people said they wanted just a quick labor and delivery update or life as a labor and delivery nurse. I will post more about labor and delivery. I will post more about nursing as well as other things. So if you have any questions, I'm going to leave my email below as well as my Instagram. You can DM me. I will get back to you as soon as possible, or send me an email. I will respond as soon as I can. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss a thing. I will be posting a lot more now, and a lot more videos about different topics that you guys want. So please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon.